End of the week to just mention once more that I have a book coming out next week, and it's something very special to me. It is called MVP. It is a children's book, and it is about my very, very cute dog, Phoebe. My wife, Stacy, and I wrote it together. And it is for children. It's meant to be read to young kids or maybe for new readers. But the most important thing I can tell you about it is that we are donating 100% of the author's proceeds to the V Foundation to fight pediatric cancer. It's the second book of that sort that I've done. The book will be released on Tuesday, so I'm just giving you a little heads up now. We'll talk about it more next week, but I will have a copy for you, and I will have a copy for you.
Can Phoebe sign it?
And for everybody here. Phoebe will just put her paw in some ink, and she'll get it right on.
You know what I love about you, Greenie? You have the one thing Michelle Beeler and I don't have.
Which is what?
Class.
Whoa, hold up. Why did I just get thrown into that? You can speak for yourself on that
one. Come on, get up! LeBron James is eviscerating the Raptors right now.
This one was the LeBron show.
The rainbow is good. LeBron James tearing up Toronto. He's hotter than fish grease.
What a run by Boston.
The Sixers had a 22-point lead, and back all the way would come Boston.
What a flurry. Boston with a 2-0 lead in this series.
This may be the worst slide you're ever going to see.
Oh, my goodness. He did a header.
2-0 pitch. Swung on and hit hard. Grand slam, Jan Herbis Solarte.
Beautiful play by Clay. The throw to first. Got him.
Number 12 for Mookie Betts. Oh, what a catch by Tyler Naquin, and he holds on.
A lot going on right now. Good Friday morning. Welcome to Get Up with Greenie, Jalen. Damian, why is your chair 75 feet higher than the rest of us? Damian Woody's here, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Big hour ahead as the Heat Dion Waiters joins us. Plus, we're going to check in with our favorite cat, everyone's favorite cat. I know, right? I'm just doing it. Michael Collins on how Tiger is doing this morning at the Wells Fargo Championship. But we start things off with NBA playoffs, and everything is coming up green. Did you get that?
Yes.
Yeah, Celtics.
Yes,
okay, good.
I couldn't wait to talk to you about this,
76ers
D-Wood.
Celtics. Philly just trying to steal one on the road. And here we go. Sharich. That's not what you want to do in the first quarter. Get things started.
And that is what you want if you're Jaylen Brown.
True.
You missed the previous game due to a hamstring injury. You immediately get a loose ball. You take it in for a slam dunk. Let everybody know I'm feeling just fine.
That got the crowd happy right there. Covington with a 3. Sixers up 22. It was their largest lead of the game. Still in the second, the man, Rozier.
He did a terrific job of staying aggressive, taking advantage of the opportunity. There were a couple of plays that happened in the first half by he and Marcus Smart that made me believe that the Celtics had what it took to come back in this game. Not only did they come back, but they found a way to get the victory.
By the way, that was an extremely painfully long shot on Ben Simmons, and rightfully so. He had a tough night. Embiid there with the 3. 76ers lead by 2. Simmons back in the game. Oh, it just can't. Marcus Morris had him.
And that's what you have to do against a great player. Not only compete and stay in front of them when they're not a shooter, but play without fouling. Morris and Horford did a terrific job of doing such.
Here we go. Rozier on the break. Lobs it to Jason Tatum. That looked mean. Tatum finished with 21 points on the evening.
You know another thing that's hard to overcome when you're playing a team in the playoffs?
What?
When you trade for a guy and give up a first-round pick.
That's tough.
And he scores 20-plus points in both playoff games, and the guy you acquire gets 2 DNP.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Al Horford, your guy, would seal it. Celtics win by 5. Ben Simmons, we need to hear from you. What exactly happened out there?
I think it was mainly what I did to myself. I think mentally I was thinking too much, overthinking the plays, and wasn't just out there flowing and playing the way I play, which is free. And I think, obviously they have a game plan. I know what that game plan is. I got to play my game.
Yep, I think we all know what the game plan is at this point. Look, he's probably going to be the Rookie of the Year, which will start a million other conversations and arguments. However, for now, he's got to fix whatever that was, and what is it?
He's a first-year player, and I know that we've seen the excellence of Ben Simmons and Donovan Mitchell. Please know that these guys are the exception, not the rule. And Donovan Mitchell continues to ascend. Ben Simmons is playing against a basketball team that's really seasoned in the fact that they've played together in these moments. He didn't get a chance to compete in the NCAA tournament. This is his first year playing in the NBA playoffs. And he has a big part of his game that he needs to work on, his shooting. So when you can't shoot the basketball, it makes the game a lot tougher. You can suppress the floor. Morris did a terrific job. Horford did a terrific job. As you see, staying down, contesting on the shots, playing without fouling, and once they miss, we're going the other way.
Can I tell you something, man? Listen, I've been battling with these Sixers fans, boys out there, because I've been, because I've been on my Donovan Mitchell, bag, probably him
really
up. But I think last night really just really just exposed what I've been saying all along, that if this guy doesn't develop a jump shot, like you just said, it's going to be really hard because his game is predicated on getting into the lane, facilitating out to, the Sarge and J.J. Redick, all those guys. They're basically compressing lane. They're switching everything off because they got multiple guys who can defend the perimeter. And again, I want to say it, when you can't shoot, it's really messed up the whole flow of the Sixers offense.
And also, we could put a chessboard on the table, and I wouldn't know what to do with it. And we all working with the same pieces. Brad Stevens pushes the right buttons with his players. He's getting maximum effort. When Simmons is away from the basket, you can put a smaller guy like a Jaylen Brown or a Marcus Smart on him because they're going to get up into him and make him work harder to handle the ball. When he's closer to the basket again, it's Morris and it's Horford playing really well. And also, when you can't shoot, sometimes you lose confidence. That's what he was talking about late. Because usually what you would do when you can't make a field goal, Greeny, you just throw your body into somebody and try to get to the free throw line. But he's a poor free throw shooter. So that put him in an odd spot.
These are really big problems. Celtics defense, Al Horford specifically. Jalen has talked about him all year long. I hope you figured this out. His defense might have been the key. Primary defender on 23 plays last night. The Sixers were 3 for 21 from the floor when guarded by Horford. Not only did Ben Simmons have a day to forget, Brett Brown may have to rethink the entire rotation. Simmons was minus 23 in 31 minutes. His backup, TJ McConnell, was plus 16 in 17.
Well, this is where the analytics people go a little too far. We're not going to compare Ben Simmons and TJ McConnell. They will not be doing that change.
No,
the reason why he's up there is because he's playing in front of Markelle Fultz. Ben Simmons has to find a way to get his game
Let
together.
us just have our graphics, Jalen. Let's get up and go, get you caught up on everything else. In the Eastern Conference, we also had a game. Raptors hosting the Cavs. Surely they can win one at home. Right, guys? Surely. Pick it up in the third. Cavs trailed by 2. It was all LeBron, all Kevin Love, all night. They did work.
And also, the Cavaliers only turned the basketball over 3 times. That's the tie for the second fewest in the history of the playoffs. Absolutely. LeBron James has been magnificent. And in the first game, we talked about his struggles from the field. People still ignored the rebounds were there, the assists were there, the playmaking was there. And nothing moves faster than the ball. And the person that they had chasing the ball the entire game was Valanciunas. Put him in pick and roll action. Put him in give and go action. Put him in backdoor action. And then in the second half, LeBron James just took over.
The fadeaway jumpers, by the way, that's not the same one over and over again. He just happened to have 7 of those, 6 of them in the fourth quarter. No te llores, pobrecito. Drake, it's over. I'm sorry. Cavs head home up 2 games to none.
Well, I pretty much know the scouting report on me is going to be to dare me to shoot jump shots, keep me out of the paint, not allow me to go to the free throw line. So over the course of my career, I'll just try to put a lot of work into other facets of the game to try to, neutralize that game plan.
This morning, you could just sense it. And he knew what was at stake. He knew that us getting another one, here at their place was going to be, huge for us. And he came out and he played that way from the jump tonight. And like I said, you could just sense that he was going to have a special night early on.
And he did. To baseball we go. Well, I got this one wrong, kind of. Albert Pujols had a 2-run double in his first at-bat. That puts him at 2,999 career hits, just 1 short of history as he failed to get a hit in his final 3 plate appearances. However, he does play Seattle next. I'm imagining that's going to happen.
He'll get it. It's a shame that a shame is the wrong word. It's nice to see these guys get these milestones in home games. He'll still get a wonderful ovation, obviously, in Seattle and deserve it. But generally speaking, you like to see these moments happen at home.
One of those highlights just reminded me of something, how, like, each season I played different sports. That's why I didn't want to play baseball. He just got plunked.
Guess who? Mookie Betts is back, y'all. Hit another homer for the Red Sox. Major League leading 12th of the season. Unfortunately for the team, it was not nearly enough. David Price roughed up for 9 runs in an 11-5 loss to the Rangers. Their lead in the AL East is now down to 1 game over the Yankees.
They had the incredibly hot start. The Yankees have been on fire for the last 2 weeks. And David Price is really struggling. The big story out of this is not just Mookie Betts. As you mentioned, it's David Price.
Well, I did not. I'm sorry. I did not mention that, Greeny.
You did.
I will be better, but not enough. I will be better next time. No, I am sorry. Trey Turner and Ryan Zimmerman each hit a home run in the 6th, propelling the Nationals to their 5th straight win. In the process, they have climbed back to 500 after a pretty bad stretch that saw them losing 16 of 23. I love when we're just silent. It's because we're in awe of what we're watching in the video, which I like sometimes.
It just always fascinates me how many empty seats in some
I mean, I get it.
arenas.
It's like a Thursday afternoon.
Correct.
I
There's
love a
so
day game,
many
but-
charitable organizations and so many young people that baseball lose the opportunity
But
to
they're
get to
also
fall in
school,
love with the
too.
game.
Like it's the whole
Field trips.
They don't all have our hours, Jalen. We have weird hours. Back to the NBA. Congratulations are in order. The Knicks finally finished the coaching search, and they came to David Fizdale, who's agreed to a 4-year contract, becoming the team's next head coach. Went back to LA last night. We'll be back here in New York for a news conference early next week.
And if you look at the Knicks' job, it's one of the more tougher ones in sports because we understand the struggles that they've had recently and we understand the pressure that comes with the media and the expectations of the fans. But I think he's taking this job at a proper time because they have a future perennial all-star in Porzingis, and they got a couple of summers to get it right in free agency.
Well, you've heard about Matt Ryan. Had himself an amazing, wonderful day. Didn't have to do anything, throw a ball or nothing. Falcons and Ryan agreed to a 5-year extension. According to Mort, this new deal makes him the first player in NFL history to make $30 million. In addition, it also includes a $100 million guaranteed. Wow.
There are very few more marketable skills on planet Earth than being an above-average NFL quarterback, and he is
above average.
Well, he's way more than that.
I know,
right?
but that's just funny to hear.
But there are only about 15 of them walking the face of planet Earth. So if you can do that, then you are worth an extraordinary amount of money. And we had a discussion this morning about the salary cap, and that can continue separately. But there is no way to overpay a quarterback like him. He's invaluable because there are so few people who can do what he does.
Yeah, I mean, when you're literally touching the ball on every play, you're going to get paid. You're going to get paid accordingly. So, bravo, salute to my guy from Boston College, Matt Ryan.
But D. Will, we talked about this earlier, and I want to get your chime in on it. And Greedy had a great idea about the NFL trying to institute some level of bird rights so that you can play a player like a quarterback more because it doesn't cripple your salary cap. So we've seen teams that make their run, like Seattle before they was paying their quarterback. Now look at the Rams, Philadelphia before they were paying their quarterback. And then once you pay your quarterback, if he doesn't take a pay cut like Tom Brady, it cripples the rest of your roster. So what do you see as a solution for that? And do you think now that they paid Matt Ryan, they won't be able to build out the rest of their roster?
Well, I mean, I think what Greeny said, that might be something that'll be addressed moving forward. But I think that the salary cap keeps going up. So it's really up to the team, in each individual team. You got to manage your salary cap a lot better because we've seen it. Once you get on a quarterback, especially a young quarterback, it's almost like there's a time clock that's ticking down. You got to make your run before that quarterback gets paid because otherwise, man, it's going to be a lot harder to have a roster to compete for a Super Bowl.
But the flip side of that is San Francisco was not a playoff team. They just invested in their quarterback and paid him Matt Ryan type money. So I'm interested to see how that situation is going to play out also.
So you're saying you got to budget better. Flashbacks.
We all do.
That's what I'm saying. Time for my favorite athlete of all time, right this second. Give it up for Cassie Lopez, ladies and gentlemen. Wrestles at Howard County Public School out in Maryland. Signed a letter of intent yesterday to wrestle at Presbyterian College in South Carolina, becoming the first female to wrestle at a D1 school. Yep. That's a big deal, guys. That is a big deal.
Major deal. Congratulations to her and her family. I wish the lights and the cameras were there like they are when basketball players sign their letter of intent or football players sign their letter of intent. But I appreciate this program for getting that on. That's a great story.
Well done.
And there were television cameras there, so that's something. That's at least a step in the right direction.
Yes, indeed.
Right? All right, we're rolling along this morning. Coming up, how is Tiger Woods adjusting to his new clubs? We're going to take you on the course live. Plus, what do the Cavs need to do to get back to the finals? LeBron's former teammate, Dion Waiters, joins us next. And Matt Ryan just agreed to the largest contract in NFL history, and he's the subject of the trivia right now. He's one of 2 players to pass for 40,000 yards in his first 10 seasons.
This is too easy,
Can you
Himbo.
name the other
Step your
quarterback
game
to
up.
do it?
Come on, man.
Well, Jalen's already writing it down.
Come on, man.
Good luck.
Each day, Justin chooses to walk. At work,